Are you struggling in math class? Are topics coming up in class that you've never learned? Do you have an assessment coming up that you want to prepare for? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then IXL is for you. Welcome to Anywhere Math. I'm Jeff Jacobson, and on today's video, we're going to show you how to make the most out of IXL. Let's get started.
IXL is a really great resource to improve your math skills. To get started, just complete the diagnostic test.
To start the diagnostic test, all you need to do is click on Diagnostic and then click on Step into the Arena. To make sure that you're only taking the math diagnostic, go to this top corner, click here and make sure you've selected math. Otherwise, you'll get math and language arts. Then IXL will give you two questions to choose from, and it's totally up to you which ones you choose. Choose one and go ahead and get started. If you know how to solve it, obviously solve it, but if there are questions that you come across that you don't know how to do or you've never seen yet, go ahead and click I don't know this yet. If you want to take a break or just see how you're doing, you can click up here in the top left where it says see your levels and see your different levels for your overall math level, and it also broken down into different topics. And you can see that some of them already have a number and some of them don't. That's because you haven't answered enough questions in the diagnostic test for IXL to know exactly what your level is. To fix that, all you got to do is step back into the arena and answer more questions. The diagnostic test is a way for IXL to learn more about your skills and what you know and what you don't know. When you first start out, according to IXL, the math test will take about 75 to 80 questions to complete before IXL is able to give you an overall math level. For English, it's a little bit less, but the important thing is you don't have to do all of these questions all at once. You can do some, come back and do some more. Just make sure that when you are first starting out that you get this done first and foremost. It's important to remember that the diagnostic test is continuous, which means that you can take it as many times as you want and whenever you want. According to IXL, they would recommend that people do 10 to 15 questions per week just to make sure that their levels are staying up to date and accurate. Once a student has completed the initial diagnostic test, they will receive an overall math level. And you can see they've got an overall math level of 610, which means they should be just starting the 6th grade. A level of 600 means you're getting ready to start the 6th grade, a level of 500 starting the 5th grade, and so on. But then you can see that when we break it down into the different topics, this student is doing very well in geometry, fractions, numbers, and operations, but then algebra and algebraic thinking, measurements, data statistics, and probability, they're a little bit behind. You can use this information to help fill in some gaps that you might have and improve your overall math level. It's also important to remember that the diagnostic test is continuous, and once you have an overall math level, it doesn't mean you're finished. You should continue to do the diagnostic test throughout the year to make sure that these scores are up to date and accurate. And hopefully, as you take it more and more, hopefully your levels are improving.
Once that's done, you have a few different options of how you can use IXL.
Now that you completed your diagnostic test, the first thing I would recommend doing is click on Diagnostic and then look at some of your recommended skills. Now, you might not have recommended skills for every topic here, but hopefully you have some. And my suggestion would be to start with the ones where you have the lowest level. So right here, for this student, their measurement score is 490, and that's definitely an area that they could improve on. Maybe they have some gaps in their knowledge. So all you got to do is click on your recommended skills, and you'll notice the color was blue. So when it takes me to recommendations, if I scroll down, this one is outlined in blue. So is this, so is that, and so is that. So those are all 4 of those recommendations that the diagnostic test has made for this student. You'll notice there's a whole bunch of other recommendations, but that's because this is giving all the recommendations, not just for math, but also for language arts. So if we want to focus on the math, you're going to want to click on those ones that are highlighted in blue if it was for measurement, for example. And another important thing to look at is what grade they're from. So this is a 4th grade skill. Same with this one, same with this one. But this is a 5th grade skill. So, you know, if you're just getting started, it might be a good idea to start with those skills that are probably below your grade level, just to make sure you understand them well and you can hopefully move on from them pretty quickly. So all you have to do is click on one of these skills, click Try It, and now you're in the learning section of IXL. IXL will give you a bunch of problems, and your goal is to improve on your SMART score. So you start at 0, and as you go, your SMART score will improve. IXL has made a video explaining exactly how the SMART score works.
Unlike traditional scoring, the IXL SMART score analyzes question difficulty, answer accuracy, and consistency to pinpoint students' level of comprehension. As students answer questions, their SMART score moves up and down between 0 and 100, and questions become harder or easier to challenge them at the perfect level. While students are still learning, the goal is to build a strong foundation. As they become more confident with the material and answer questions correctly, their SMART score increases. Whenever a question is missed, detailed explanations help set students back on the right track. And once a student has proven that they have an excellent level of understanding, they move into the challenge zone and really put their knowledge to the test. Inside the challenge zone, students don't just demonstrate their skill comprehension, but true mastery. Students must work carefully, read explanations, and really focus on the problem in front of them. Questions in the challenge zone can be difficult, and it may take longer to make strides, so students should feel free to take breaks and return to the skill later. Their progress will be saved, and they can always continue practicing and improving. 90 is considered excellent, and 80 shows a strong grasp of the skill, which may be appropriate when first introducing a concept. Start with an initial goal of 80 and challenge students to grow from there. Want to see the SMART score in action? Visit IXL.com.
If you don't want to work on the recommended skills IXL has provided, you can also just learn on your own. So if you click on Learning, Recommendations is the first thing that comes up, but you can also click on Math, and then all you need to do is either select your grade level or the topic or skills that you want to work on. So grade level, I think, is probably the easiest. If, again, this student is in 6th grade, they can click on 6th grade, and it's got all the skills that might be taught in 6th grade. The START skills are ones that a teacher has recommended. So you can see that this student's teacher has recommended a bunch of skills for them to practice, especially it looks like on integers. And you can also see that this student has gotten scores of 100 on almost all of them, which is great. That means they have mastered that skill. So if you are studying something and you want a little bit extra practice, even if your teacher has not recommended the skill, you can come into the learning section and start working on them. If you are getting ready for a new unit and you want to kind of get a little head start, you can also do that and think about what the unit coming up is and get started on some of those skills.
The other way you can use IXL is to work on topics we're currently studying in class. This can be especially helpful when you have an assessment coming up.
So if you're doing a certain unit and your teacher might be assigning some skills to practice as homework, or you're getting ready to prepare for an assessment, this is a great place to go, and you can see all the skills that your teacher has recommended just by clicking in this top right corner, and you can see that this teacher has recommended 51 skills. You can see the ones that have already been practiced. For example, this student has already got a score of 100, that they've already mastered that skill. Same thing here. This is a great place to find all of them. So remember, there are many different ways to use IXL to help improve your math skills. Once that diagnostic test is finished, you can click on the recommended skills that IXL has tailor-made to each student to help improve your skills. You might be filling in gaps of previous knowledge that you are missing, or you might just want to challenge yourself and see something new. You can click on the Learning tab and choose your grade level to find things that you're studying currently. It may be you want to practice things that you're studying from class. You might want to get a head start on something that's coming up in the next unit, or maybe you just want to check out something that you're interested in. And lastly, you can click on the recommended skills from your teacher to work on things you're currently doing in class. This is especially helpful if you are preparing for an upcoming assessment.
In conclusion, IXL is a really great resource to help you improve your math skills.